Hey, coaches. Welcome to Football Talk with Coach Chip. Today we're going to be looking at throwing the access or the gift pass off the jet. If you follow me, and most of my viewers are pretty devoted subscribers, I don't read the jet. I don't RPO it. I don't run the bash jet. I don't run the same side like the power read jet. We run jet. But what we do, if you look over here in the bottom right corner of the screen, we will pre-snap it. And I'm going to show you that from the very beginning when we predetermined it and did it years ago. I found the video. And then I'm going to show you a couple of times where we actually did it in games and the quarterback was reading it. It doesn't happen very often. It's just something and it doesn't hurt to work it with the quarterback. It's still teaching him about leverage, even if you don't throw it that much. It's still teaching him about, pre-snapping things, even for the passing game, identifying where people are they in man, what's going on. So just repping it with the quarterback, and the receiver doesn't have to do anything. He's just running a slant, so he's getting his reps. But this comes from a viewer request. Say, Coach, you had any film of y'all running that? And I was just looking at some yesterday. I was editing some old film, and a couple of those came up. And then a few episodes ago, we talked about something you can do on the front side if you can teach your kids to identify it. Like if this kid here is playing inside and giving them leverage, we can't block him. Diagram, and then look at some film. All right, let's get after it. All right, now here's the diagram of the play we're going to look at in just a moment from years ago when we first sold out to running what comes to be known as the gap gun system and running a lot of wing T plays out of the gun and marrying in some spread. And of course, over time, the spread overtook. And nowadays, it's pretty much we're jet, we're a buck, power still gap. But it's much more spread concepts. It would take a trained eye to see that we're still running some wing T principles, at least up on the front. But what you're seeing here is what we did. It was kind of like just draw it up in a dirt thing. It was what turned out to be a meaningless touchdown. We were down by 2 touchdowns super late in the game, and trying to build the program that it became the premier small school program in East Alabama during the 20 teens. But we were right there on the cusp of building it, and we were down by, I think it was 16. And so we needed about a minute to go in the game. We needed a touchdown and 2 two-point conversions. And we scored a touchdown, and we called timeout. And we had noticed when we were really running jet. That was our main play that year. We had with very young backs. We had a couple of jitterbugs in the slots, and they had really been chasing the jet with the backside. And what they'd been doing is this guy had been bumping down in the box and coming hard off the edge. Now, the way I've got it blocked on the diagram here is not the way you're going to see it blocked, but this is the way we block it now. Because if you do throw that access, these guys won't be, you're going to see this guy come off the edge and you're about to kill the quarterback. So we block him now. And of course, it was 2-point conversion, so the middle of the field was empty, and they were in man. And this guy ran with the motion. Well, this kid was already up on the line, coming hard off the edge right here, the outside backer. And that just left it wide open. And we had noticed that this kid was coming up and coming hard off the edge. So when we came off the sideline after the timeout and I saw what they were in, I said, perfect, that kid's going to be in man. And because we didn't call jet, we had told the quarterback, fake the jet and throw the slant. And of course, the next year is when we put in the pre-snap read, and I'm going to show you a couple of films of that we ran over the course of time. But this is how we block it now. See, I'm blocking jet here, all these guys. These are the blocks that really count. You want to get off and hit this guy in the mouth. He's not going to make the play on jet. And you want to hit this guy, drive this guy. And that way it keeps them out of the quarterback's face. And it just keeps, and you say, well, why does it matter? This kid here or this kid here, whoever you're talking about, he can't affect the jet. No, he can't. but it prevents you from running the counter. So I love to go empty, and most of y'all know that. So quarterback counter would be super nasty against this, okay? But if they're going to bring this guy in and play him in here and ignore the flat right here, they're taking away the counter, okay? And so there's no counter off of it, so they can just load up over here and play jet hard and just let this guy hang back here and be your counter killer. So you got to make them play out here, and you got to show that you want to do it, okay? All right, let's look at some film, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. All right, so we've called timeout. We've set it up. We decided to go empty, okay, to really make them think over here, over here, over here. All right, we're going to put him in motion, and this guy's going to chase. This guy's coming off the edge. There is nobody in the flat area. All right, let's watch. Ooh, there it is. Okay, a little slow-mo. And just all you're doing is slant. You always run slant. You can see we're kind of pass block. We're doing aggressive pass blocking because we knew we were going to throw it. But this is what led us to this, the idea of doing that. You know, the cornerback doesn't really have a chance. And you say, well, what do you do if he plays inside right here, Coach Chip, and takes away that slant, takes away that leverage, which a lot of folks will do. I'm going to drive, and this is going to be just an adjustment, just we got to do it. Adjustment between the Q and the wide receiver. I'm going to drive him in here and tell him to body up on him and then go to the corner and just throw a little jump ball, a little short fade to the corner off the slant. And that's pretty much all you can do if they're going to play. Now, he was kind of playing head up, maybe slightly inside. Now, one of the things we do, and we grew to, and you're going to see we don't do it here, is we now do the what I call a diamond slant. Okay. And all the diamond slant is, and there's not room to draw it up right here, is him release out as if he's going to fade right now. And this same kid right here, he's a 9th or 10th grader. By the time he graduated, he was killing people on the diamond slant because he was so tall. Right here, he's about 6'3", 6'4". He was 6'6" by the time he graduated. And he was so good at the fade. And I told him, he said, well, Coach, what's my steps? I said, you don't have any. I said, release outside, watching the corner's hips. And as soon as that corner flips hips to cover the fade, you come right back underneath him, and he's beat and you're wide open. Now, he just does a really good job right here. There's two things that kid could do until the day he graduated. He could run a slant, and he could run a fade. All right, look here. Good. See, he just took 1-2 steps. He knew he had him beat. Corner played him tight. All right. All right, now let's look at after we had put it in as a sure enough pre-snap read. All right, now this is one that was in the playoffs, and it got me in all kind of trouble with the head coach because I didn't call this play. I called it. We were up really big, like 5 touchdowns. I think it's late in the third. And he said, why'd you throw the ball? And I said, I didn't throw it. I didn't call a throw. But that's when I came up with a call for telling the quarterback, don't read it, just run the play. I came up with a signal for it. But we're going to see, we're not an empty on this one. We got an H sitting over here. This is one of our favorite jet formations. And you're going to see the lines are going to block jet. This kid here, he bumps down into here, so he can't cover that flat. And this is a different big, tall receiver, and he's going to come right here. And what it was, here's what happened was, this is the quarterback's cousin, okay? The head coach's sister's son. And he was, I believe, a sophomore, okay? And I don't think he'd scored a touchdown that year, and he was in the game, and the quarterback just decided, hey, it's open. I'm going to throw Cuz the access. All right, y'all watch. By the way, that's the quarterback's little brother on the jet. And I think the little brother was in on it because he didn't carry out a fade. You could tell he knew he wasn't getting it. But look at the O-line blocking jet. So this is total access, total gift. The flat's open. You see it pre-snap. You got to look. As soon as you start him in motion, you got to make your mind up. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? Let's do it in slow-mo. Boom. See, look at the quarterback. He's looking dead at that linebacker. As soon as that linebacker bumped inside, he knew he had it. Boom. Wasn't much of a fake. Didn't have to be because nobody was there anyway. Y'all see what I mean? Not much of a fake, and you could do better. But look at the quarterback. Look at his head. That's what he's looking at. Pure. Okay, that's his read. Hey, now we may not should have done it because of the score, but he did it right. Again, similar thing, they're in man because they're down close. Look, nice little window there. Nobody's downfield. We're blocking jet. Boom. Notice number 1 over here. By the way, that was number 12 on the previous film. This would have been number 1 now, his junior year. All right, watch. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. Watch the O-line. See guards pulling. That year we pulled the guards. I wanted jet to look like Buck. We went away from that. Okay. That was the year after the previous film. All right, let's look at one more. All right, so now we're going to run it back over here. We're going to get our jet motion from right here. All right, now you're not going to see anybody bump. He's already in the box. Okay, they've got a safety back here deep off the screen. You'll see in the corners playing way off. So the slant is there. Okay, so I can still remember because this was early on in the season. This is a year removed from the very first film I showed you. Ironically enough, it's the same team that you saw in blue on that first clip a year later. And we run it now, we've got it built into the offense, and it is a pre-snap read access gift. Okay, I use all those words just to satisfy everybody that wants to call it whatever they want to call it. So he can tell the quarterbacks, look where his eyes are. Even before he puts him in motion, he is eyeballing that. See, it don't have to be much of a fake. Does not have to be much of a fake. The action does the fake. Watch the line. Boom. You can see. They're blocking pure jet. And he's able to split the corner and the safety. He almost checks out. He gets caught right at the end. You can see by then, we had put in, he gets a little bit of an outside release and then comes back in. Okay. There you go. And that was like what, 1st and 10 or something? No, it was a second down. It was not a passing down, I'll say that. All right. All right, that's it for this episode. Throwing accessed/gift passes with a pre-snap read off the jet action. It's really simple. You're not putting much in. If you already run jet, you already run a slant. All you got to do is teach your quarterback pre-snap leverage. Also, figure out a way to signal him or a call when you don't want him to throw it. Okay, it's like to keep you out of trouble with the fans, especially your head coach and the other team if you're winning by a lot, or it's just a situation where you don't want to throw the ball. You want to run the jet. You're trying to kill the clock or whatever. You need to have that call. Don't forget, subscribe, like, and share. I also look down at the bottom in the comment section at the things that we're offering for free. We still got the Buck book out there. It goes for $20. The playbook's out there. It goes for $20. Okay, 2 separate books. The Buck book is not a playbook. It's just a collection of Buck sweeps from all kind of different formations. Also, it shows you how I block it. Also, it shows you the RPOs off of it and all that good stuff and all the different things you can do and some play action passes. It's pretty much, I won't say it's all things Buck. It's all things Buck that I've fantasized about, thought about. Some of it's conceptual. Some of it's actual done. I've got tags in the links, excuse me, where you click a link and you can go to video of the thing that we're talking about in the diagram on the book. And considering what stuff goes for now, and I'm a pretty faithful buyer of several different outlets of ideas and stuff that coach is going to take the time to break down an entire season that and, and it's cost more than this. Okay, this is $20 and it's just something you can have forever. And it comes to you in the form of an attachment. It is a PowerPoint or a Google slide link that you get, and you can open it up. You can put it on your phone, your device. You can show it to your kids. You can project it on the board for your coaches, your players. And you see something, say, hey, we can do this, and you can do it yourself. And of course, because it's a Google slide or a PowerPoint, you can print it. You can print off like hey, we're going to run it this way. And you can print it off and show it to people and things like that. Take a screenshot of it, send it to your kids or your coaches. So it's a great, great resource, in my opinion. And folks, I get a lot of great emails, and I really appreciate it at siegel.chip@gmail.com, thanking me for what I'm doing for the coaching community. And somebody asked me one day, matter of fact, it wasn't even a coach, it was an administrator, and asking me how that stuff was going. I said, pretty good. And he said, why do you take the time to do that? And I said, real simple, because nobody did that for me. Not that there wasn't people out there. I coached out in the country when I was in my 20s. There wasn't a bunch of clinics. They were clinics, but they were so far off, and we were poor. Didn't make any money where I was coaching. Had no budget to send us to clinics. And our idea of a clinic was, it was the 80s, was to go to Walmart and buy a VCR and record college games and then break them down later and try to learn from that. That's how I learned the freeze option from McPherson at Syracuse. It wasn't until the 90s where I finally was making enough money and coaching at big enough programs to go to clinics. And of course, we didn't have the internet either. I'm just trying to do something for somebody to make their life easier and to help them be all they can be in the coaching community, to be elite, to be the best version of themselves, to be the best coach they can be. And if I can be in any small way and play any role, any small role in helping coaches develop, whether they be rec league coaches, travel ball, 10 and under coaches, middle school, ninth grade, I don't care. I want to help the coaching community. That's my legacy that I want to leave, that, hey, he made coaching better in some small way. And a handful of coaches that I've already made a difference in just makes me feel good. And yeah, that's a little egotistical, and I freely admit that. But that's why I do it. So look down at the bottom, leave comments. Be sure, and my email address is down there, and also our Facebook page and my Twitter account. And you can contact me. You can DM me. You can email me. I will respond. If I don't respond in a timely manner, hit me up again. It just means it got lost. I've gone through and tried to unsubscribe to some things that were just polluting my email page. But I'll do anything I can do to help you. Okay. And I mean that with all my heart. Like I've said many times on this YouTube channel, if I got it and you ain't, it's because you ain't asked. All right. Don't forget, subscribe, share it, and like it. It helps with the algorithms. Other things that you like that are similar to this will start popping up on your YouTube because Google says, oh, look, they like that football stuff. And maybe even other things that I do. And also be some links to some other videos. All right, until next time, be elite.